Hi folks, how are you? Extremely delighted to speak to you again on another interesting topic. Of course, you by now would have seen what the topic is: quitting your job. Are you planning to quit your job? Have you quit your job? So what is your story? Listen to me carefully until the end of this video. I've got some very interesting perspective from real life experiences, not from anyone else but from myself. Quitting a job from a career perspective and probably doing something on your own, jumping into entrepreneurship, wanting to try out something on your own, try out freelancing, it's all fine. But remember, it's not a very easy thing as you perceive to be. Entire life can go upside down and your life plans can go upside down. So unless otherwise you have the mental frame to take on things that way, don't quit your job. I know I might sound very pessimistic, but the fact remains that if you are going to depend on a particular stream of salary, stream of revenues from your day job to take care of your family and life needs, then quitting is the biggest blunder you can do. Of course, we all get carried away a lot of times by seeing these pink-colored newspapers, inspirational stories, where people from nothing have earned a lot of money by freelancing. People have just started off some startup and things like that, and maybe became rich overnight or rich in a couple of years' time. All that is probably 1 in 100 story or 1 in 1,000 story. You should remember that very clearly. In real life, in reality, is actually not so positive. It's not so exhilarating, if I can use that word. In real life, if you quit your job, there are hundreds of odds which you need to face every day in terms of your lifestyle, in terms of your family's comforts, in terms of your own mental and physical health and things like that. So believe me, unless otherwise you probably have inherited a lot of wealth or probably have some other alternate plans in terms of doing something drastically different to probably earn money easily or do quick money, then believe me, quitting your job in anticipation of alternate careers, things like freelancing and stuff like that, is not very easy. You might find it like an irony, because in my own channel I put another video as to why you should freelance early in life. But if you watch it very carefully, or if you probably understand it very carefully, you'll see that I'm saying freelancing can be only a part-time occupation, and in case you try and make it big at some point in time, it is only then should you quit your job and get into full-time freelancing or full-time doing something which you're chasing your passion. Until until that point, I always say freelancing is only an additional source of income, and your primary source of income has to be a day job. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this from my own experience. I know that sense of euphoria when you want to quit your job is very high. You really feel like you probably are on some very high energy drink, where you really feel that you're breaking away all your shackles and you're going to do something very different and probably earn a very comfortable living. The goal is not to really become filthily rich, but the goal you think is to probably have less stress, do something what you like, earn some decent money and live a comfortable life thereafter. But things really don't work like that in a perfect world, and I have learned it the hard way. I have seen many other people who learned it the hard way, people who are really well educated, people who have a lot of caliber, people who are really good at what they do, good at their domain or subdomain. Despite all that, have really struggled for years and years, and some of them even have tried and got back to their career path, a conventional full-time day job, so that things don't get worse in their front. So believe me, quitting your job and fighting it out there in the market, earning a full-time income based on freelancing, earning a full-time income, partnering with one of your friends who is probably getting to real estate and things like that, or probably doing things like photography, digital marketing, etc. is all said and fine. It all works well in paper, but in reality, if you have a particular set of expenses, if you need a particular amount, X amount to sustain your particular lifestyle, irrespective of which part of life you are. You could be an early life, you could be a bachelor, you probably can be married, your spouse could or could not be working, you might have school going or college going kids, and you might have an extended family like your parents or in-laws to support. With all this, if you think that you probably have earned X amount till now in your life, for example, if you are a CTC of about 20 lakhs per annum for the past 2-3 years, suddenly, believe me, those 20 lakhs per annum comes with a certain amount of stress. I don't disagree with that, but if you just quit that thinking that is very easily doable in the next couple of years time, if you are out in the market doing something your own, it is not at all easy. When you are in a consulting mode or freelance mode, there is a lot of money coming in at some point in time, and suddenly for months and months it goes very, very dry. I've seen that myself. For example, I have listed down a few gigs on Fiverr. I'm an independent freelancer now, and despite the fact that I put in a lot of time and money, on a particular month I probably earn about $500, but there are months and months where I don't earn anything at all. So that is the nature of freelancing. Fiverr is only an example as a platform I'm giving you. It could be the same in any other platform, and it would be all the more difficult if you think you can do the same thing or much easily using your personal website, which is very, very optimized and things like that. It is not that easy. Likewise, I also run a public relations agency. I'm extremely good at PR and public relations outreach for client organization. But again, there are terrible ups and downs. Probably we handled one large account for about 1.5 years, where me and one of my partners earned good money for 1.5 years. But after that, for almost 1 or 2 years, there was just no revenue at all. So that is the nature of these businesses. I'm not trying to blame anyone here. I'm not trying to blame that the external environment is imperfect. But the fact remains that this is the nature of that business, and it is with a sense of awareness of these risks that you have to go ahead and do a business if you like so. So that is why I say, if you are earning 20 or 25 lakhs per annum, or 10 or 15 lakhs per annum until now, maybe for the past 10-15 years, suddenly that kind of money is not going to see the light of the day because of your freelancing. Yeah, you may be very passionate about it, you might be very, very thrilled about it, you may be extremely good about it. I'm not denying anything at all, but the fact remains that there are too much of competition in the freelancing world. There are too many people like you who are trying to do freelancing. There are too many people like you who are doing consulting in whatever domain you are, and for every rupee there are 10 people chasing it. So to earn that 1 rupee, you need to struggle 10 times more than you were probably doing in a job. The job may be very stressful, you might have a bad boss, you might have bad colleagues, you might not have grown professionally as much as you should. Probably your growth has been stunted by other colleagues. The organization has not recognized you well with 20-25% hike. You are only struggling for that 12% or 10% hike every year. All that is fine. As I said, it is a very, very imperfect world, but believe me, that X amount is coming every year, and every month on the 30th of the month or 5th of the following month, your salary is getting credited at your bank. The moment you quit a particular job, and if you are dependent on money on a month-on-month basis for your regular income, family income, lifestyle and things like that, believe me, that stopping of your salary getting credited in your bank account religiously month on month is a very, very huge thing from a lifestyle point of view. Imagine, for example, there is 1 lakh coming to your bank every month, or 70,000 coming to your bank every month, and suddenly you are imagining yourself that even if it stops, I'll do something and try and earn that money. Doesn't happen at all, my dear friend. Doesn't happen at all. I've learned it very, very hard way. Getting that 70,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees in your bank account without a day job and doing something on your own, be it freelancing, be it consulting, be it whatever, it requires 10 times or 15 times more effort and probably 100 times more luck than you get to do in a day job. That is why I tell all my friends, you have to do something on your own. You have to do freelancing, but that can be only be a secondary sources of income. Your primary source of income has to be a day job. Your primary source of income has to be a regular income which will hit your bank every month. It cannot be something which eludes you month on month. It shouldn't be that at every beginning of every month you're just going to struggle to see how to make ends meet and things like that. Not alone that, forget this alone. There are going to be a lot of contingencies in life. Children suddenly grow very fast and they go to the college. College education is not cheaper like earlier. Good college education is expensive. Your spouse might not be working, but she for sure has a particular kind of lifestyle. Likewise, your parents may be old and they may be ailing. They might require medical treatment. There could be a lot of unforeseen expenses. What if suddenly there is someone who is afflicted with a very, very serious illness at home? All this can be manageable only if there is a good amount of regular income. Of course, I always say this caveat: if you are someone who is filthily rich, or suddenly won a lottery overnight, or suddenly acquired some wealth or inherited some wealth from some part of your relatives or friends like that, then of course you really needn't worry. But if you are a normal person who depends on income, who depends on revenues month on month, then you have to have those revenues to match the expenditure. Forget saving 20-30%. That's a different story altogether. If you are very good in financial planning in life, of course you would have started doing all that early in life. But otherwise, for probably that bunch of people who are not very good financial planners, who have not really saved great amount of money for a rainy day, a month on month regular income is extremely important. Again, I reiterate, I'm not discouraging, I'm only stating you the facts. I've seen people learn this the hard way. I have learned it the hard way, and I am a standing testimony to the fact that without regular income, without a full-time day job, life is not that easy at all. Life is not that rosy at all. Of course, there's a lot of free time, there's a lot of freedom, but what do you do with so much of freedom if you don't have the basic necessities of life fulfilled very easily? Think about it. We all say there is stress in life, we all say there is stress in the job, and we all say, I don't want to distress, so I'm just going to take a break and do something on your own. Believe me, the stress which is caused by not having enough amount of money and not having your needs met comfortably in life is probably 100 times more killing than the normal stress which is a part of any job. So listen to me very carefully. Tread with abundant caution when you get suddenly inspired by people who think if you quit your job you suddenly can make life wonderful, life will be much easier, life is comfortable, and life is probably stress free. No, that is not at all the fact. You are being misled into a trap by yourself or by someone else. It could be even family pressure at times where the spouses say that, look, why are you struggling so much to earn this kind of money? We are all very sure that you earn much more without this job also. Those are all clear traps. Don't fall for the traps. Don't fall for the sweet words. Reality is, if you have already got used to living a certain amount of lifestyle or certain kind of life with a regular income, if that regular income stops, then that kind of lifestyle is just not going to be there, come what may. That is a brute reality of life. So unless otherwise you have abundant plans in terms of finances, abundant amount of savings, or abundant amount of wealth inherited from your parents or something like that, then it is always sensible to remain in your job as long as you'd want to. Probably, I would say, as much as you can work hard and as long as your health permits. That is the kind of advice I am wanting to give you in this video. I know for someone who may disagree with me a lot on this, it might appear that I'm sounding very, very negative, and I'm also discounting all those success stories out there in the market. The internet and the websites and probably even social media like Facebook and Instagram are viral with stories about people who made it big. But believe me, a lot of these stories are deceptive, and a lot of the stories are all about engagement farming. I've seen people who do these online courses make videos on Instagram saying that they'll teach making online courses, and they've earned crores in a month with these online courses. I humbly submit these stories are bullshit. Things don't work that way. To reach that stage of where someone earns crores, it requires hundreds and hundreds of hours of thousands and thousands of hard work. So don't believe in these viral stories on social media. Don't even get carried away by the stories which come on Economic Times and Financial Express and media like that. And there could be a lot of online media which flashes success stories of young entrepreneurs who become filthily rich. Again, they are there, but they are an exception. They are not the rule. And those people, apart from having been at the right place at the right time with the right fund, the private equity fund, and loads and loads of luck, without that they would have never made it that big. And if you believe me, you and me won't have that ecosystem to be behind us even for our basic needs. I have made that assumption in life. I made an assumption that if things fall in tough times, there is going to be people to rescue me. But in reality, it is very, very tough. People always expect something back from you if they want to help you unconditionally. And actually speaking, there is nothing like unconditional help. I have seen it the hard way. Again, I'm extremely grateful from what I am and where I stand today, and whatever I am doing today. But at the same time, life's lessons are life lessons, and these life lessons are extremely brutal. I don't want your life to be so brutal. I don't want your life to be with discomforts. I want you all to live probably extremely happily with all the comforts you have, and even more than that. And for that, you should not venture into uncalculated risks. That is my point of view. I'm sure you agree. If you disagree, you need to tell me why you disagree, or you probably have to tell me that you have something miraculous in terms of a business model or a freelancing model which will work for you, which is not work for most people. Again and again I repeat, yes, there are exceptions. There might be 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000 people who have made it too big in life by being freelancers or by being independent consultants or being on a freelance or consulting mode or multiple freelance jobs mode. But again, there are not many stories like that. I have seen all around. I've got about maybe 20 years of work experience, of which a major part has been into independent consulting and freelancing. And believe me, it is a roller coaster ride. It is not a free ride. It is a roller coaster ride. And this roller coaster ride, you also tend to get injured. So if you don't want to get injured, if you want to live a very, very normal and comfortable life, believe me, stick to jobs, stick to wherever you are, make that gradual moves, change jobs once in 3 or 5 years or as and when you wish, get those normal increments and normal promotions. In the long term, you will make a wonderful career rather than get injured very badly. Again, I tell you, both a work life, that is a full-time day job, is a marathon, but a freelancing life is a much tougher marathon. Are you ready to complete a normal running 20-kilometer marathon, or probably do you want to bruise yourselves by running a 50-kilometer marathon, which route has not been given to you? You have to make a choice, and this choice, obviously the answer is very, very easy. You should run a marathon which is predictable, which is the right routes, and which is 20 kilometers. You should not run a marathon where the route map is not given to you. Freelancing, independent consulting and stuff like that are these kind of marathons where no one has charted before, no one has run before. Somebody is just blindly telling you, you run a 50-kilometer marathon of your choice. We will not tell you which route, we will not tell you the destination, we will not tell you what to end. So where does it end? It ends nowhere. You have to keep running, and at times it will become like a rudderless ship, just getting into uncharted territories and probably even getting lost in the sea. Don't get lost in the sea. Stick to your jobs. Don't take uncalculated risks, and don't get deceived by the world outside. Thank you for listening. I'm sure you find it useful. Please leave your comments in terms of what you think about this extreme view. Kindly consider liking and subscribing for the channel. Thanks a lot. Have a wonderful life ahead with a stable job and a wonderful career. Thank you.